Good morning, everybody. I hope you're having a good day today. Let me just check on my audio. I think I have a very limited speaker audio. But okay, so today we're gonna start with budgeting class. This is our first basic class, and what I mean by basic is we are going to think about what is a budget or make a plan, make a sheet. That's probably the best way to name it. And then you guys, your homework will be to list all your debt, all the credit cards, all the loans, all the things that you need to pay at the end of the month. So that will be your homework. But now I want you to show you what a budget is, right? So what I mean by budget. So budget is when you go to work, you know that you're gonna get paid a certain amount of money every, let's say every week or bi-weekly, every 2 weeks or every month. So from that money, you know that you have expenses that you probably had incurred. Maybe you have some credit cards. So you open some credit cards, maybe Macy's card or some other cards. We're not gonna say names because we don't want people to say something. But I think at the end of the month, you're gonna take a sheet like this. Let's say, like for example, like this, and you're gonna list. Let me show you. So what we're gonna do today is show you that I only have a white piece of paper right here. So I'm gonna start from scratch. Okay. So the way I do my budget is so I put, okay, let's pretend I work at Reno's Furniture, okay? And I get paid every bi-weekly. Let's say I get paid $2,000. So what I'm gonna do is I put Reno's Furniture, and then I put the amount that I get paid every, right, monthly, or I'm sorry, bi-weekly. So then now that I know this is my income, so I'm gonna list my expenses. So I'm gonna put list my expenses. So now, what do I mean by list my expenses? So that means all the loans that I have, either personal loans, automobile loans, home loans, credit card loans, and any other loans that you might have. Maybe you took a loan out of your 401k, or maybe you took a loan out of the retirement account, or somebody lent you some money and you need to pay them back. So that's what I mean by expenses. And besides your food, transportation, gasoline, and all the other things that you need to list. So you're gonna make a list. And so let's put myself, for example. So I got to pay my mortgage, right? So let's say I pay $1,000 every month, right? And then this is just for an example. And then I have a credit card. Let's call it credit card number one. And I have $200 that I have there that I need to pay back. And then I have credit card number two, and I have, let's say, $50. Then I have credit card number three, and I have another $100. So what I do, see how I listed, I don't know if you can see it, but I already listed my expenses. So that's only for that. I don't have an auto car loan, and I don't have any other loans. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add them up. So 1,200, and that will be 350. So 1,350 is my total. So I'm gonna summarize it, and that's 1,350, right? So now that I did that, I'm gonna start listing my home expenses. Okay, so let's say I have a car, but it's already paid off, so I just have to buy the gas. So let's say my car, I put $40 every time I go. Let's say every 2 weeks, I spend $40. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna multiply $40 times 2, and that will give me $80, right? So now I'm gonna say, okay, how much I spend on food. That could be food that you consume when you're on the go, like going to work, or maybe coming to work, or maybe on the weekends, or when you go to a restaurant, or you're like in the mood for having a hamburger or something. So then you're gonna put all the expenses there. So this will be your weekly expenses, and let's say I spend $50 per week. So we know that there is 4 weeks. So we're gonna multiply times 4 weeks. That's $200. Okay, so that's food. Now let's say what else do you guys think we should put in here? Let's say I have to pay utilities, right? And I have to pay water and trash. So for utilities, maybe I'll pay $50 per month, and for water, maybe let's say 30, and then for trash, let's say 40. So now I'm gonna add them up, right? So I'm gonna add that in. So I know it's 280, right? Then 280 plus 50. So I'm gonna say 280 plus 50. That's 814. So 13, so that's 330, and then 3 plus 30, that's 360, and then 40, that will be 400. Okay, so I have 400. So now, as you can see, okay, I have 400 in home expenses. I got my home and credit card already here, and then this is my income, right? So what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to say, okay, I'm gonna add my mortgage and credit card debt, which was 1,350, plus the $400 that I spent for home expenses, and that gives me 1,750. Okay, 1,750. Wow. So now I know that the only money left. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the $2,000, which is my income, right, every 2 weeks, and I'm gonna deduct it. Deduct. So it's a minus sign. Minus 1,750. So now somebody is good here with math. Okay, I hope so. Okay, so now it's 3. I'm sorry. That's 9 times 7. That's 2. And then that's 1. So you should end up with $200.50. Okay, that's left after you had paid everything that we talked in this program. Okay, so now we know that we only have 250 to get us by during the week. Okay, because at the end of the month, well, maybe at the end of the month, we know that we don't have too much money. I mean, at the end of the 2 weeks, we don't have too much money left. Okay, because we only have 250. So if these are all expenses every time that we receive a payment, then that means we only have $500 per month to spend. So that could be used for I don't know, maybe something that you need in the house that is not listed in this in as any items here. Maybe is food for your cat, or maybe you pay your dental, or maybe you have insurance, or maybe you do a little bit of savings from this money left. But as you can see, it's not that much money left. So now that's what I mean by budgeting. So what it means is that it creates a plan for you, at least a visual, a visual of how much is coming into your house, every time that you get paid. And from that amount, then you list all your expenses that you have. So once you list all the expenses, then you are able to see what's coming in, what's coming out. Yeah, how are you spending your money? How, it's kind of a tracking. Let's call it a tracking. The budget is similar to a GPS that tracks your money. So then this is just the basic, okay? Because to create a very visual budget plan or budget list or worksheet, you have to also, I mean, besides naming, right now I'm just giving examples here because this is a general video. But usually you will list the name of every single credit card that you have. So you will list the names, you will list the rates, like APR rates that you're paying every month for having debt in that card. And remember that that card is revolving, so it changes, or it could be from 20 to 29 or 30%. I mean, depending on the uh, credit card company, right? Or the loan company or whatever that is. So make sure you check your bill statements. I don't have a bill statement right now with me, but when you um, check your bill statement, you will be able to see the information. So you will see this is the money that they, the credit line limit, and then they're gonna tell you how much you had already consumed or used from that credit that they gave you, and then they're gonna list also APR, in percentage. That's a percentage always, and then they will list every when you have to pay, like when is the due date for that payment. So after that, that's when you are really really tracking everything. Because why do you need to do that? Why do you need to name the cars, get the APR, get how much money you have to pay monthly, and that's being the minimum. And then you have to also know um, what is your total or your current balance. That's what I will say. Okay, so because why is that important? When it's important because once you list everything, I want you to release it. But this time when you release it back, you're gonna release all the amounts that are lower. For example, if my credit card number one has a credit limit of, let's say, I'm sorry, not a credit limit, but yeah, I already use, let's say, $5,000. That's my debt in credit one card. And then credit two, I have $2,000 in there. And credit card number three, I have, let's say, $3,000. So as you can see, when I redo this budget worksheet, then I'm gonna put it backwards. So I'm gonna say, okay, which one is the first loan or the first credit card that is the least money that I owe to the credit card company or the loan people. So once I listed, so I already see from this visual, I already see that credit card number two, I only have $2,000 that I have, consume and that I need to pay back to the credit card company. So I'm gonna say, okay, credit card number two will be my number one once I rewrite my list, because that's 2,000. Then credit card number three will be my number two because that's $3,000 that I owe them, and credit card number three will be my number three. So what's that? Why is that important? Because now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna focus on paying the smallest amounts first. So I'm gonna say, okay, well, every month I know I have $500 discretionary income, right, left after I have spent everything. So this money, could be for something, could be for just having fun, yeah, or for just making sure I have money in case there is another emergency, right? Or I mean, it's not that much money, as you know, but at least it's some money that is gonna be in your pocket, right? But the thing is, you think and say, okay, my monthly payment for credit card number two is $50. So what about if I make another $50 on that card? So and maybe I said, okay, that will be $100 now. I'm putting $50 extra. So now, how long it will take me to pay off credit card number two that I consumed $2,000 in debt and in debt for $2,000. So how long it will be, or how long it will take me to pay this off if I pay every month $100. So you know that a year has 12 months. So if we're paying $100, then that means in a year we'll be paying 1,200. So then you know that it's gonna take a little more than a year to pay if we continue on paying only $100. But what about, let's say, well, we took 50 from here, right? Because we added one more here. So then I said, well, I have $500. Maybe I'll put 200, and I'll pay this off. So I'm gonna do 200 extras plus the 50 that I was already paying, because my goal is to get off this debt, right? So then that's what I'm gonna do. So now $200. So we multiply that. We know that in 12 months it's gonna be 2,400. So that's more than we owe, and that's okay, because then that means we're gonna pay it off in a year and probably 8 months. So that's not too bad, right? So you will do that every time. So now let's pretend that we had already paid off that debt for the $2,000. So now you know that we have $50 extra. So now we're gonna do the same thing with credit card number three, which was $3,000 that I have in debt. So now this credit card, and now my payment was 100. So when I add the $50 from the previous card, now it's 150. So, but now remember that I still have the $500 if I maintain the same income and the same discretionary income after expenses are paid, right? Then I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna do $200 plus 100 that I already was doing here. That will be 300 plus the 50. So 350. So every month I'm gonna send to credit card number three 350 instead of $100. Okay, so that will help me pay off that debt. So maybe in a year, 300 times 10, that'll be 3,000. So if you put $300 in this car, in 10 months you'll be already paid off. Okay, because 10 months times 300, that's $3,000, and that's exactly how much money I owe on this car. So then I will then you know that now I got rid of credit card number one and credit card number two in the new arrangement, right? Which before was my credit card number two and credit card number three. But so I don't know if you think it's confusing, but I'm just giving you some tips here. Okay, so if you keep doing the same thing, then eventually you be off, without credit card debt. So now you're gonna ask yourself, what am I gonna do with this extra money? Because now this money will be extra for you. So that's a good question. And I will suggest, that you start putting away your savings, right? So you start using this money and save it out, but not on a savings account or anything like that. Okay, I want you to use it in a different way. So, but for that, you're gonna have to wait for our next class. Okay, but in the meantime, do your worksheet just the same way I do it here. So I listed my income, the one that I get paid every month or every week or every 2 weeks. And then I list all my expenses. That could be personal loans, credit card loans, mortgage, car loan, student loan, anything that you have that you need to pay back. And remember, pay it and put the amount that you already consume, that you're already in debt, and then make all the and put all the things, APR rate and how much is it and when is it due, how much is monthly that you have to pay, the minimum requirement every month, and then relist them according to the debt that you owe. So if you in the first time you wrote this, your first car is 5,000, but you have a 1,000 car, so the car that has $1,000 should be first, and the car that has 5,000 should be the last one, depending on how you're listing your debt. Okay, and then just work it out. So if you have any questions, let me know. You can give me a call, 1-800-637-5833, and that's Blanca Professional Service. And you can also follow us online at blancaprofessionalservice.com. And we're in LinkedIn, also in Instagram, and we're also in Twitter. And I know my assistant also have us also in Pinterest, but I'm not sure yet if we have anything posted yet. But that's where you can find us. So if you like this class, it's a very short class, but it was just mainly for educational purposes. And that's a disclaimer, because I want you to be successful in life, and I know how hard and how difficult is to go to work every day and just be working for somebody else. And I'm not talking because I don't have experience with that. So I've been there, and every day I try to do this myself, because it's not just you that has to keep their budget on track and their expenses on track, but me also. Okay, so because that's my personal experience, I want you to be successful, because I know that it can be very difficult. It's very easy to get into debt, but it's very difficult to get out of debt. And I understand that completely. Okay. So, yeah, send me a comment if you like this video. We're just beginning with these classes, so I hope to see you next time. We'll be in the same place at the same time, 9:30 in the morning, Friday. So that will be our second class next time. And I'll prepare some other stuff. Maybe I can share I was gonna share, something with you here, but it's not something that I created, and I don't want to have issues with copyright. So that's why I didn't want to share it. But anyways, so always remember, have faith, work really hard, in the goals and the dreams that you have. Never let anybody take those away from you. Yeah, it's not easy sometimes. It's difficult sometimes to go ahead in the game, but you just have to keep pushing and keep doing what you need to do. So, don't let anybody say that you will never be that free, or that you're wasting your time, or anything like that. So always make your budget list, okay, and work hard on that. And this works for anybody. It works for students. I was a student in college. I did exactly the same thing that I'm showing you. I was a student in the university level too, and I did exactly the same thing. I made mistakes like any student did. I also got indebted personally before. When I was a college student, I carry credit card debt, and I carry other kind of debt, and it was not very easy. But you learn, and I'm telling you, you learn with your own examples. So you're not learning from somebody that is only teaching you or just putting numbers in a worksheet. It's somebody that has experience with this kind of issues. Okay, so call me at 1-800-637-5833. If you have any questions, go online. If you want to take our intake for financial planner, I am a financial planner and also a real estate agent. I practice here in California. My business is Funes and Co. with DBA Blanca Professional Service, and we're mainly a financial and real estate educational company, but we're here to help you. And I try to refer you out if you ever have you have a need or something that I'm not the person that can help you. I will be happy to refer you to somebody else who has more experience and who's more knowledgeable in the area that you need help. Okay, so give me a call, 1-800-637-5833. Okay, and if you want, like I said, fill out our intake form for financial intake, so we can do your financial analysis plan. So that you can find it on the website, www.blancaprofessionalservice.com. Click on the tab financial, and then financial or life insurance tab, and then you'll see that it says intake form. Okay, so goodbye now and have a wonderful day. Thank you for joining this class, and I will see you next time. Thank you.